There were so many nights that I would just look at the bottom of the stairs and be like, I could sleep here. As always, these are your hosts, Allie, Nora, and Tara, and this is another episode of Bad Advice Only. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at Bad Advice Only NYC, and new episodes come out every Monday on Spotify. Make sure to download us and give us a rating. Stay tuned, rats. I'm really nervous to go to Tokyo.
Why?
Because cleavage isn't allowed, apparently. What am I going to wear?
I don't know if cleavage isn't allowed. I just read it was frowned upon.
Well,
listen, it's frowned upon, but we're a group of white American tourists.
You think that's worse?
We're going to stand out regardless.
Right.
It's not like your areolas are going to be showing.
I mean, they might be. Like, I can't with 100% certainty say my areola won't be out today.
Mm-hmm. The Japanese, there's been plenty of reports recently about them being sex deprived. So maybe if they see an areola, it'll spur them to
You could save society with that areola.
Huh.
You could save the population, the Japanese population.
Because I could feed them.
Not with your breast milk.
You know, people keep telling me my husband's going to be like this nice Japanese man because my psychic told me that I was going to meet my husband while traveling.
Oh, yeah.
In the early part of the year. So maybe. Also, I will be using this podcast, hello listeners, to find my next husband. Well, I've never had one, but a husband.
Oh, we were talking about what we could do for a giveaway. It could just be Allie.
Oh, yeah. Free night with me.
Free night with the areolas.
This is part one of a two-part episode. I wanted to talk about what it's really like to rent an apartment in New York City.
For the listener, what do you think their questions are about renting in New York City?
Why would you live here?
Yeah, I feel like they don't even know. All they know is, oh, New York's expensive, but they don't know what a shithole, like, rat trap this city is.
Yeah. So you're saying that you can't just go online, apply for an apartment, get approved, and then you go and pick up your keys like in other cities?
Absolutely not. I feel like just renting an apartment in New York City is one of the craziest experiences. I feel like everyone here is a nomad unless you find a really good deal, like a rent-controlled apartment or like something like this place that both of you live in now, which is like a really good location, cheap rent. You can make it work for a couple of years.
Wait. You think our rent is cheap?
Yeah, our rent's not cheap at all.
Also, I think we're in a terrible location.
We live in the East Village, listener, which is a great location in the sense of it's close to everything. A bad location in the sense of we can't sleep at night because there's constantly children screaming and singing.
That's right, Gen Zers.
Children. When you say children, it makes me think that there's like a creepy little orphanage full of little girls outside your window at night being like, ring around the rosy.
No, what you should be imagining, Allie, is the kid that you puked on at the rave. That age
Miss
group.
him.
I'm talking like under 25.
Yeah, the bars, the
It's a bit noisy.
homeless, the rats,
A bit dangerous.
cockroaches.
Beautiful place. I mean, look, I've heard it. You know, this is why I can't sleep here. And I'll leave at like 2
No,
a.m.
it's not just you. We had a guest once leave in the middle of the night because it was so loud. She couldn't sleep.
So I think like people will bounce around a lot, which is going to lead me to my first point of just how many places have each of us lived in our time here. I'd love to start.
Wait, let me guess really quick, because Allie's been in New York for like 9 years, and I'm pretty sure she's lived in like 11 apartments somehow.
Yeah.
She's counting.
I'm counting because I didn't totally add them up. Hold on. 7.
Oh, 7.
7 or 8. I can't do the math. It's too early in the morning.
Like, I can already think of 3 in Jersey alone, so.
3
in Jersey because 2 in Weehawken.
Oh, I forgot
1
about
in Jersey
Jersey
City,
City.
Queens, Midtown Manhattan, Upper East Side, 2 different apartments on the Upper East Side, and Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Nora, I had listed for you West Village, but I wrote 2 apartments.
I did have 2 apartments in West
Okay,
Village.
good. I'm glad that I recounted that correctly. And then Eastville. Is that it?
No.
Oh,
And
Hell's
Hell's
Kitchen. Forgot.
So that's 4. In West Village, I first lived in a dorm, like an NYU dorm, which is funny because I've never been a student in New York. And then I lived in a cracked in the West Village as well, which was 250 square feet. And I found needles in the walls. Go on, Allie.
Okay. So 4.
To answer your question, 4.
4 places. And then Tara, you came here late in the game.
I did.
So I have Urinal West.
Urinal West. That's definitely something I wanted to talk about today.
That's Upper West audience.
It's Upper West Side, like borderline Harlem.
Yeah. Well, not really, but sure.
Yeah, the
I
only
was
time-
107th in Manhattan. Shout out.
That apartment, also, she was on like the 6th floor walk up.
No, it wasn't a walk up. There was an elevator.
Yeah, but the elevator was unusable.
The elevator smelled like urine.
Okay, so just
one
going back to
human.
the geography before we shit all over the piss-stained apartment. um, so technically, it was still Upper West Side, but it was straddling Morningside Heights, I think. I could be very wrong on this. I'll look it up later. We can fact check it. I don't give a fuck.
We always say we're going to fact check, and we never have.
Yeah, listener, we will never fact check.
You don't come for the facts. You come to make fun of us.
That's true.
All right, so you had Urinal West, and then I counted 2 Eastville apartments. That's East Village, Eastville.
Yeah. So I lived Upper West Side, and then during the pandemic, the day the city shut down in New York City, I moved. I had to pay under the table a really sketchy random guy with a van to help move me.
I've never heard
Stop
this.
telling me these things about you because I constantly am worried you're just going to be dead one night because you're so sketchy and you're just going to be like, oh yeah, I like paid this guy under
No,
a
we'll
van
never know.
to...
We'll never know why she's dead. She'll die. She'll just turn up dead or disappeared, and we will have no clue. It'll be like one of those thriller movies where you have to like piece together the clues of like what happened.
Well, you're going to hate this even more. It's New York City, COVID-19, early 2020. The city shuts down and no one is supposed to leave their homes unless, for emergencies. My lease is up from Urinal West, so I have to go. So I moved to the East Village. I take over a friend's apartment.
You may know him as
Shit is Pants AJ. I load up this white kidnapper van with a man from Jersey. I look at the guy and I'm like, oh, here's the address, but you're going to get there well before me if I take the train. And I go, wait, can I ride with you? And he goes, I'm not supposed to let people ride with me.
What kind of, was he from a company or Craigslist?
I just found him real quick, okay? It was COVID.
So
So I hop in the car with him and we drive to my new apartment, unpack, everything's great. He has to walk up 6 flights of stairs, carrying all my things. So yeah, then I move into the East Village apartment, and now that's East Village apartment. So yep, 3, and I'm still alive.
Okay, so when I lived in my first apartment in West Village, the dorm, I had to move to my second West Village apartment, and there was a week where I didn't have housing. Like there was a week that it didn't overlap. The idea of hiring someone to do this, like that didn't even occur to me because I was so broke.
And how old were you?
I was 21. Taking a cab didn't even occur to me, like moving with a cab because I was so broke. But there was like this week that I didn't have anywhere to live. So what I did was every day for like a month, I would take a suitcase full of my stuff into my work on Wall Street.
On Wall Street.
did you take this on the subway?
I took it on the subway. So I would roll my little suitcase to work. I would take everything out of the suitcase. I would unpack it into my office. I had a desk, not an office. And then I would roll my little empty suitcase home and do the same thing the next day until eventually everything I owned was in my office
Did
building.
you sleep in your office?
No. I'll get to that.
Oh, good, thank God. The listener is dying.
This seems like such a process because it would have just been easier to like literally put it anywhere else if you were just moving like
I
a
didn't
block
have
away.
anywhere else. I didn't have any friends. So then the week comes that I'm homeless, and listener, fun story, this is the first time I'm homeless. Y'all have heard about a different time already. So I have a week where I have nowhere to live. It's actually not a very exciting story where I found to live, but long
Did you
story
just
short,
sleep around every night?
No, I found a different dorm to stay in.
What?
But you weren't in college. Like, let's clarify that. Like,
You
you,
had
were
already
a full
graduated.
functioning working
I was
adult.
a full functioning working adult.
A Wall Street bitch.
I was a Wall Street bitch. Anyway, I found a different dorm to live in. It's the long story short.
What?
But I
Just over how you got it.
So I lived for a week in this other dorm, but all my stuff was in the office. And I just live like with a mattress that was provided by the dorm.
Ew.
And I'm just like alone in this apartment, no sheets, nothing, just like a mattress.
This is the start of her not using sheets in New York City.
So what I was doing also, I was sleeping on my dirty clothes because all I had was like a few clothes.
Like as sheets?
No, I would put them as a pillow. So all my dirty clothes were my pillow.
Somehow worse.
Ultimately, when my new apartment was ready and I could move in, I moved in same way as I got everything to the office, one suitcase at a time for like a month. I just moved it into the new place.
Did anybody in your office ever say anything?
No, and I was so scared I was going to get let go during that time. I was like, if I get fired, I lose everything.
I guess we could all say here, like, moving, not fun.
When we were looking for this apartment and Allie was viewing apartments for us.
Oh yeah, Nora and I weren't in the city. This is COVID era. Nora and I weren't here yet. We took a little
hiatus
in a basement.
But we had Allie looking at apartments for us. We were like sending her leads and having her go track them down. She was so ready to hand them cash. She was like, okay, I'll bring $2,000. Do you think that's enough? And we're like,
do not carry $2,000 around, Allie. She was like, oh, I've got it.
That's like such a loyal friend. I don't get enough appreciation.
She was like strong arming people.
I literally didn't let people into these apartments. Like there were like lines out the door because this is when people were like bartering for apartments, and then I would block them physically from getting into the apartment.
It was the dead of winter. Money. It was December and January
so
when
fucking
Allie
cold.
was looking, and yeah, she would just block the doorway and try FaceTiming us or taking videos of the apartment, and I guess had $2,000 cash in her pocket.
You see what happens? You guys just make fun of you. Neither of you would have done that for me.
Correct.
Right. Because that's unreasonable.
Because it's an unreasonable thing to do.
So I want to talk about the actual processes like, because I feel like, one, I didn't realize it varied that much between New Jersey and here until I moved out there. And it was so much slower because here, I remember the second apartment, the 6th floor walk up that I lived in on the Upper East Side. I loved that apartment. Like, this is where I die. Someone bought the air rights, the air space above my apartment building, and they were like, actually, because somebody bought the air rights, we're kicking everybody in the building out. You have 30 days to find a new place. And I'm like,
sure, that seems right.
And I remember, like, they can kick you out just as quickly, and just as quickly you can find a new place to live.
This is true.
I did some research on this because I was like, what's the actual, like, legal notice to kick you out of an apartment in New York? I thought it was 30 days. It's actually 14 days.
What?
I would think it's none because they just do what the fuck they want. The landlords are crazy here.
14 days, though? That's 2 weeks. Yeah. That's like how long we're going to Japan for.
Yeah.
Listener, Allie really doesn't want to go to Japan.
Does not want to go to Japan.
I don't want to meet my Japanese husband.
You're not ready?
Do you want a sushi, though? I heard the gas station sushi's all of the rage.
Do you think that our listeners even know what a walk-up is?
No, it is.
It's pretty self-explanatory now.
It's just, if you say 6 flights of stairs, it's double that.
Yeah, because when they say a flight, they really mean two flights. Yeah.
They do?
Yes, because there's like 2 on every
It's like to get to the next level, you have to go up and then up.
It's literally like 14
literally
flights
awful.
of stairs.
Well, I was like straight coming out of like a horrible job at the time when I lived there, and some would classify it obese. Like if I went to a doctor's office.
Oh my
You were not obese.
No, I think they would. This was before we met. So I would say.
Is this Trucker Al?
This was post Trucker Al, but like Trucker Al tries to come back as like a 30-year-old obese finance bro at the ripe age of like 24.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to explain to our listeners what we're talking about. Trucker Al is how she refers to herself from like college era, where she was, your words, not mine, maybe 30 pounds heavier.
Because of the bagels.
I would eat 2 bagels a day.
Your words, not mine.
Well, you're leaving out the most crucial part of what made me look like a trucker. There's 2 parts here. 3 parts. One is the weight. No offense to truckers, but you're sitting all day. 2 is I had gotten this haircut at the time, and I was like, I really want bangs. At the same time, my mom had tricked me into going to her hairdresser, and I guess she was like, chop all of her hair off.
And your mom had full control of what
predetermined my life. And I all of my hair chopped off. I looked like Rosie O'Donnell ate Billy Ray Cyrus. Like, this haircut grew into a mullet, and that's why I looked like a truck driver, because I also had one of those hats that's like
a trucker hat.
She wore a trucker hat.
I guess it's a trucker hat. Yeah, it's one of those hats that like fully covers your ears on the side, kind of look like
no, that's a lumberjack hat, I think.
lumberjack.
We have a photo. We will share it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Keep a lookout.
Anyway, I wasn't trucker Al at this stage of my life. I was just a 30-year-old obese man at a 24-year-old woman's body. So it was really out of shape. Anyway, the whole point of the story was to say I had to go to the gym and do the Stairmaster every single day just so I could walk up the 6 flights of stairs to get home. Like, I would be
You were in
winded.
training?
Yeah, I was in training.
It was her Everest.
There were so many nights that I would just look at the bottom of the stairs and be like, I could sleep here. Like, this makes sense.
Oh my god.
So where do you even start out to get an apartment?
I think most New Yorkers go on Street Easy to find apartments. It's a website here.
It's easy to find places to look at, but
To look at.
like recruiting, like at agencies where they like post fake listings for you to apply
don't
to.
know.
People post like fake
jobs.
for
Right.
you to apply to get candidates. Like,
Right.
they do the same thing with
Apartments.
apartments.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got my Murray Hill one, because I was applying, like just sending out my details to every
Oh
single
my gosh,
person
your
in Manhattan.
credit.
Yep. Best advice that I can offer, just go meet a man wherever he says, because this man was like, hey, this unit's
Yeah.
not available anymore, but if you meet me on the corner of like Lexington and 39th
Yep.
Street at 5 p.m., it'll be worth your time. But you have to bring so much shit with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you need...
Me a
it's like-
blank check, first of all.
Well, then it has to be bank certified.
Also, fun fact for our tourists, you have to make like 50 times your monthly rent to rent an apartment. That's like a prerequisite, which for my first 2 apartments, I faked it.
How did you...
You
did you just
lied?
like fake a pay stub?
I didn't fake it really per se. What I did is that my at the time boyfriend, he was in law school and he had gotten a summer like internship. So his pay was really high, but it was only for 3 months. So he just sent one pay stub and was like, this is what I make all year. And that's how we were able to have that apartment.
I mean, that's smart.
there's a
there's
tip.
always a loophole.
So what I'm hearing is law students, their internships pay more than what you were making
Yes.
as a new grad.
Yes, that's correct. He made more in 3 months than I made in a year. That is a fact.
You're welcome.
I made nothing.
God damn it.
Fucking
We gotta-
East
They're coming
Village.
for us.
We gotta start doing this in Jersey. So you have your finder's fee, broker landlord, broker lord fee. You have
Which,
usually
by
first.
the way, is like $4,000.
Yeah, because it's 15% of whatever.
Right.
Non-refundable.
It's
Right.
non-refundable $4,000.
Never seen that
You
again.
Just give it to them.
Nora and I put down 12 grand for this apartment.
What?
Yeah. Guys, we're renters,
We're renters.
and we put down
But
12
that-
grand.
That wasn't your broker's fee. That was first in last month.
So
rent?
it was broker's fee 4,000.
And a security deposit.
Also, as a side note, the brokers will take the fee whether or not they found you the apartment.
Oh,
My
yeah.
old apartment in West Village, I 100% found. They didn't even give me the keys. I got them from the girl who used to live there. They did nothing. The girl didn't even move out. The girl was moving. She left all her stuff there. The place was packed, floor to ceiling with her stuff. I still paid a broker's fee.
Just like the girls upstairs.
And-
They rented their apartment when their lease was up. It's not like they were finding a subletter or whatever. And one of their sisters wanted to move in with her friend. And so they were like, hey, can we just keep the rent the same, try and negotiate with our broker, which is our broker lord. The broker was like, yeah, absolutely. They can move in, no problem. It's going to be a $4,000 broker fee. And then they were like, they tried to negotiate and they were like, no, you don't even have to clean or paint the apartment before we move in. We'll take it as is. And she goes, yeah, $4,000 broker fee. Oh yeah, when they moved in, the toilet was in the bathtub.
Oh yeah, when they moved in, the toilet was sitting in the bathtub, and they tell our broker lord, they go, the toilet's in the bathtub, and she goes, no, it's not. I had that fixed. And they're like, okay, well, we didn't. I mean,
What?
how would we know?
What do you mean? Like, it was off the ground,
It
literally
was all around
sitting
in the fucking bathtub. They
the
couldn't use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, it's kind of like it works out for the best. Like, sometimes, when you take like a deuce, you want to shower after.
Oh my god, are you saying poop in the shower?
I'm just saying pooping near the shower could be helpful. Okay, anyway.
Maybe we'll cut that.
Are you saying shit in the shower?
I'm
No,
not
she's
saying
saying-
shit. I'm saying shitting near shower can be helpful.
I'm so disgusted by that.
I don't support shitting in the shower. I want that to be clear.
I've got a story. One time as a little girl, it was like one of my first showers. You know when like you transition from like a bath to a shower? It's
How
like,
do you remember this?
because I thought it was really cool that I was showering.
Oh no.
Like, you know, your parents aren't helping you with bath time anymore, and you're like, I'm a grown up. I'm a grown ass woman. So I'm like a little kid in the shower thinking I'm so cool taking a shower. And I don't know what came over me, but I was like looking at the drain, all the water is going down the drain. So I was like, I wonder if I poop, will it go down the drain too? So I shit in the shower.
Guys, we shared a bathroom. I did not know this. We haven't announced yet that Tara and I are sisters. Fun fact.
So yeah, I shit in the shower. I'm really little. I
Oh.
just want to reiterate how young I was. And of course it doesn't go down, listeners.
It's just a solid full poop.
Yeah. And so I panic. I wrap up that shower real quick, and I'm just staring at my shit. And I'm like, what do I do? So, what does any little girl do? I went to my father.
Oh no.
And was
Sad.
like, Dad, I had an accident in the shower.
Not an accident.
And you know what he said? I'm really confused
Did you
by
get
this.
dressed at this point? Like, or did you just
I think
run
I had
out?
like my little towel on, trying to look like a princess, like you always do after you take a shower.
Dad, I need some help.
And our dad's reaction was so weird. Now that I'm thinking about it, he basically was just like, "Okay, I'll take care of it." What?
That seems like an ideal reaction.
I mean, yeah, he didn't shame me or anything. I wish he did, maybe, because that was really weird of me.
I was with my friend a couple weekends ago who was looking for an apartment in Brooklyn. And she's like, this is such a great deal. Like, it's so cheap. It's in this area right near where I live now, and I love it, and it's up and coming, and this, that, and the other. And she's like, I can't believe the amount of space for, like, the price of this apartment. She's like, do you want to come look at it with me? I'm like, sure. And same thing, like, I don't really understand this situation. The woman that meets us, I guess, has lived in this apartment building for 15 years. Okay, 15. But she's not living in it. She's renting, like subleasing it out to some French girls. Okay, it's not my listing. I wasn't asking specifics. We walk in. It smells like 80 homeless people are pissing in this it was beautifully decorated. We'll upload a picture to Instagram because I took pictures naturally while I was
But
there.
it smelled bad, but it looked good.
smelled like crap. She goes, you might notice a smell. And we're like, She
So
goes,
she knows.
I just want to be like very transparent about everything. Like, a new super moved in like a couple of months ago, and he's fucking terrible. Like, he's absolutely terrible. Like,
He's foul.
he was like, I just want to let you know, like, we've been complaining about this smell. Didn't say what the smell was.
It sounds like it's like dead bodies.
It was like Urinal West on crack.
I was
cocaine.
about to ask if it was similar to your
So much worse. It was like, it hit you. Like, I was like, I'm gonna have to shower. So she's like, yeah, the super sucks. Again, I just want to be honest. Like, he really hasn't done anything. Like, they lost heat in here, and I'm like, at least she's honest. Like, at least she's honest. Like, okay. 3 floors up, we get into the apartment, and it's a lot of space, but this thing looks like a haunted house. Like, all of the furniture is like wicker, dusty.
What?
Then she's like, all of the furniture is gonna stay. And my friend was like, okay. She's like, well, can you remove some of it? And she's like, no. She's like, yeah, I like didn't know if things were gonna work out with my boyfriend. So like, I still have this place. I'm like,
15 years.
so you can like come and go as you please, like with a key, no problem. Then we get to the kitchen, and this is really where it gets weird. She's like, we see a dishwasher and a washer
Ooh,
machine, like
wow.
one that you guys have, like, and it does the washing and drying at once for the washer dryer. She goes, oh, that doesn't work.
Same.
And Hannah's like, well, how's the dishwasher? She goes, oh, you can wheel that. It needs to be hooked up to the sink. I'm like, this is not worth any price. And then it's like, you have to sleep in somebody else's mattress. Like, it's just
Wait,
math. Like, I don't.
Tell us how much the price. What was the
It was
price?
$2,100 a
Oh.
month.
That's actually pretty good.
But
for
this
New York.
place was massive. I mean, it had a full sitting room like the size of this.
I want to mention all the things that you can not expect from an apartment in New York. A washing machine? No. Central air? No. Central heat? No.
Like lighting in the ceiling. You're actually unique that you have that.
Yeah, some apartments don't have lights.
I don't have overhead lighting.
No overhead lights. No dishwasher.
Garbage disposal.
I didn't
No
have a
garbage
full-size
disposal.
fridge in mine.
I'll even even get a full-size fridge. Also, my room specifically is freezing. I think there's holes in the window because it is frigid as a bitch, and there's no heater in my room.
Frigid as a bitch.
Sorry.
Flip it.
There's no heater in my room. There's just
It's
hole
a radiator.
where there's no radiator. There's just a hole where it used to be.
Well, okay. The average rent price is about $4,270 a month, but I think
For
that this
what?
is wrong. Like just
A
renting
one
in
bed?
Manhattan.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
It didn't
I feel
specify.
like that's the average rent price of like a studio right now.
It is. I was looking at these micro studios yesterday because I'm
It's
thinking
a
about
micro studio.
So I'm thinking about moving out of my apartment with my sister.
Okay.
It's a surprise to us all.
This
Nora.
is an interesting announcement.
Nora's face was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was looking at these micro studio apartments in Lower East, and they're so cute, but they're like 300 square feet. But they have everything: a dishwasher, washer, dryer, and they have a built-in bench, and
But-
it has a Murphy bed. It's so cute.
A Murphy bed.
Yeah.
For the rest of the world, this sounds like hell.
This sounds like actual hell on earth. I think that we take this time to say whoever DMs us on Instagram first after listening to this episode gets to move in with Nora.
Yeah, that's our giveaway.
I looked up some horror stories about renting in New York City. The first sentence is just rats, and not just one rat, a lot of rats.
Oh my
What's
God.
wrong with rats?
And woke rat up after getting home from work, was sleeping in my sweater.
So what I'm hearing is that we are disturbing the rats.
Dead rat under kitchen table.
Wait.
Rat staring at me having sex.
Oh no! We should talk about the rat problem in New York really quickly.
It's not a problem. What are you talking about?
We're
It's
getting
a
rid of
problem.
them.
It's
So-
not even the rattiest city in the country. It's
What?
second. Did you know that?
What's the rattiest?
Can you guess
Probably
who
Chicago.
Portland.
It's Chicago.
Ha.
Chicago because it's a port city.
Just
like New York,
But really quick, Tara
Chicago's
and I
worse.
do have rats, and the
No.
girls. Yes, we do.
We have mice.
We have mice, and the
Same
girls who
thing.
live upstairs from us have seen 16 mice since moving in.
disgusting.
I am sitting on your floor.
They're counting. I've got some really funny rat stories, but I'll save them.
They're so upsetting. My boyfriend killed a rat one time so my boyfriend's lived in Brooklyn for 25 years. And so he's very well versed with the rats. They know each other well. But he came home and there was something moving under his skillet that was on his stove. So he lifted up the skillet.
Shut the fuck up.
It was a clean skillet, There's just no storage in New York City apartments. So his skillet just sits there for, whatever. And he lifted up and there was a rat under there. He just slammed the skillet back down and killed it.
Oh
He killed the rat in front of you?
No, this was before I was born.
Oh. Right. Well, honestly, I think personally, this is like the whole process of renting an apartment in New York is probably why I'll never move back into the city again. Like renting in Jersey is just so much easier. I have a washer, dryer, and unit. I have a working dishwasher, full fridge.
no! But you live
I
in
pay
Jersey.
way less.
Are you trying to sell Jersey to the listener?
You will
Fuck
not
that.
trick them to living in Jersey. How much do you pay, Al?
I pay $3,100 a month, and I have 780 square feet,
Ooh.
and I live next to a Whole Foods, and it's real cute.
Okay. Well, what I was going to say, since we've covered rats so much in this episode, should we talk a little bit about our love for rats and why we call our listeners rats?
No,
Oh.
let's leave the mystery.
Okay. That's fair.
We're just like, no.
Nope.
This is a good chaotic ending, I guess. Stay tuned for part 2 of New York housing, where we're going to discuss worst roommates. And I think that was a Freudian slip because I said disgust instead of discuss. Because I will be sharing one of the most disgusting roommates I have ever had in next week on Bad Advice Only.
So don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Bad Advice Only NYC. Leave us a review. We'd love if someone actually wrote something. They're all just stars from our friends and family so far. And we'll see you for part 2.
Woo!